I'm doing this for the thumbnail again. Gotta do it somehow. Oh, no, I might not even use the thumbnails. I don't care. People don't care about thumbnails anyway. What is this? Some kind of advertisement thing to help channels get more views? I don't need that. People don't like me anyway. So, today we'll be reviewing the Lair of Darkness Structure deck. So, first of all, you get Lair of Darkness mat, which, unlike the other one, gives you little extra monster zones on the top. It looks a lot cooler than Yu-Gi-Oh's. Yes, I know, drawing comparisons already, but I don't care. It also tells you how to make your deck better, how to use your deck, and how to do stuff with it, unlike the starter deck, which just meanders about a bit and says how the basics of the game work. However, another one that would be nice as a mat, which you can get, because it has a pre-release mat, which is quite cool, but is now probably very expensive after pre-releases. Another strategy guide, which tells you the basics. Does it actually have anything on link summoning? That's a good question. Yes, it does! That's useful. Let me just see if there's anything interesting. Interesting. If you take control of your opponent's monster in the extra deck zone, it moves to your main monster zone. When it goes back to your opponent, it goes to their main monster zone, not the extra monster zone. Well, that's interesting. I did not know. That's nice. As long as the materials meet the requirements, you can use telephone or trap monsters, which is good, unlike explosive disease where you can't do that. Yeah, I think that's as much as... But yeah, not too bad in terms of getting beginner's guide, and count that it does teach you about link summoning, which even I'm a little bit... I mean, even now with that thing where if you take control of it, it actually moves it to the main monster zone, and then moves it to your opponent's main monster zone instead of their extra deck. How on? It must be thick. Dang it! That was way too much effort. Anyway. Right. So, we start off with... I'm not going to read the effects off of this one because on my structure deck Yu-Gi, this is a lot more complicated. But, I know about structure deck Yu-Gi, I've used this deck in the pre-release, so I kind of know how it works. Basically, Lilith searches your tribute something and searches your viruses. It searches normal traps, but you're mostly going to use it to search the viruses. It basically takes 3 out of the deck, shuffles them, put them around, and selects one. You get that one, the rest go into the deck. If it's normal summon, its original attack becomes 1,000, which means that if you special summon it, you can use it with... it's not deck devastation, but the virus that means they have to be 2 levels to higher. If you normal summon it, it means you can use Crush Card virus with it, because the Crush Card has to be 1,000 or lower, which basically gives it versatility. So it's a searcher and it's a versatility tribute thing. Because you can tribute itself, and you can also tribute itself to search, or your opponent's monster. Darkest Diabolos allows you to tribute stuff to put stuff in your opponent's hand. Makes your opponent place one card from hand either the top or the bottom of the deck. So, sort of Yatta-locking them. Sort of. Except they put on arm. But You know, you can reduce your opponent's hand advantage, which is always good. The other thing is your opponent can't treat it and can't target the card effects. And these are the two abilities of OPT. Basically, what that means is the first part is that it's quite funny in the mirror. It's basically, it seems like an effect that was designed precisely for the mirror match. And also for kaijus, which I'm so happy about! Finally a card that says, fuck you to kaijus. Finally, it's about time. Anyway, its other effect is, if a dark monster you control is tributed, etc. during the damage step, you special this card from your graveyard, if it was there when you tributed it, the monster, or hand, even if it's not in your hand. So, for example, if you tribute a monster to search this, its effect can go off immediately. If, for example, you tribute something to send this to the graveyard, it doesn't activate because of its effect. It says not immediately. Armor basically searches your field spell, which is the important thing. I'll go into that later. And it also works as a draw card, and it works as adding something from your, and you all as a searcher for things with 2000 or more defense, which means you can search Diablos with it. So it searches lair, and on field it can search Diablos, essentially. But its secondary effect, you can only activate OPT. And then Lair of Darkness, which basically allows you to tribute your opponent's monsters. All phases of monster field become dark, so advanced dark, but better. And during the end phase, special as many torment tokens in defense position, up to the number of monsters tribute this thermal this card's face up, including your opponents, including 4 tribute summons. And then Green and Grey Virus, which basically mills your opponent's deck by destroying stuff, but they get to choose. So the upshot is that until the third end phase of your opponent, until your opponent's third end phase after this card activation, any monster they draw immediately get destroyed. Cards destroyed in the sense of great effects cannot activate their own effects that same turn, which is pretty useful, actually. Just one problem. Fire Kings exist. Fire King effects don't activate during the same turn as the turn they were destroyed. They activate the standby phase afterwards. Unless you activate this during the draw phase. Or the standby phase, I guess. But who's doing that? Very few people. And then Dark Shades and Sinister Shadow Lord. I think most of this stuff is like old stuff, like that's the original Diablos from way back. Lich Lord, Prometheus, an Archfiend Emperor, Caius the Mega Monarch, which is a really good cut. Just a decent reprint. Legendary Magic Guards, which is a decent reprint. Vantage Fiend, an amazing reprint. Mist Archfiend, Infernal Dragon, which we don't really see many of. Archfiend Cavalry, Stygian Street Patrol, Phantom of Chaos, not a great card. Plague Wolf, Fiendish Runner War, a good reprint. Curry Bandit, an amazing reprint. Tour Guide, the reprint everyone basically wanted. Probably not the reason many people buy this deck for Tour Guide and just the generic stuff I mentioned. Absolute King Jack, Blackjack, Jack. Fuck. Jack Black. Relink Karibo. So, alright cards. Recurring Nightmare, which is one of the better cards, like spell cards wise. Allure. Even though now, because of Destiny Soldiers, Allure isn't as sought after as it used to be, but it's still nice to get Allure. And Destruction, which, Foolish Burial Goods, a really good reprint because its previous incarnation was a secret rare, which I had a copy of. Boogie Trap, no one cares, it was in Extreme Force as a common, so... Fires of Doomsday, not a bad reprint, considering it is an old card. But another card that was in Destiny Soldiers. In fact, I have a copy of it. Somewhere. It's somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Same as my Lair of I have Destiny Soldiers, Fires of Doomsday, which is super rare. But if you can't get Destiny Soldiers packs, which is easy now because it's an out of production set, Veil of Darkness. Yeah. And then you get your viruses, so Crush card, Death Devastation, Eradicate Epidemic, which is limited. Full Force, which is good because it was. I think the last time it printed it was also in a structure deck, wasn't it? Like ages ago. Dark Light, Trap of Darkness, Mind Crush, yes. Rightful Height, a card that no one really cares about. It's fantastic reprints. Curse of Darkness, which is a good reprint for burn decks, as stated before. Sinister Yugioh, which can be decent sometimes. And then you get a Torment token and some advertisement about Duel Links, or as I like to call it, your second token. It's basically a second token with Yugi and freaking blooming Jade Knight. But all in all, this deck is actually quite decent. It's probably not good in terms of, say, using against other people, with actual constructed decks. But in battles against structured decks, this is quite solid and has a lot of potential. It's quite solid because the things I'll state this now. The things I tend to rate structured decks by are the exclusive cards you get, the generic stuff you get, and how well it holds up against other structure decks, and then how well it holds up generally. So, as stated, because this is a structure deck, so that all the cards are unique. Like the promos you get are unique. And all the promos, the exception in Green Grave Virus, because people will use that mill that you give them against you. The cards you get are really good, and they all work together in a decent way, unlike the full power ones. They really synergize well. The generics that you get, for starters, you get virus cards, and a virus card that was previously a secret rare, and just a bunch of the virus cards in one go, along with a way that teaches you essentially how to use them effectively. You get Foolish Bearer of Goods and a few other things like a Lair and Fiendish Warrior and stuff, which is essentially the basics of any decent dark deck. And in terms of holding up, it does hold up. It just has a strategy that works, that can irritate your opponent. It's not the fastest deck, and it's not the most consistent deck, but it's a lot more consistent than a lot of other structure decks, because two of the cards you get as promos, search the other cards that you need, essentially. Now, in terms of if you had three structure decks and put them together, which is what a lot of people do, and you went against structure decks that did the same thing, this would hold up probably a lot better than other decks of the same strategy. Because the main problem with it is not getting Lair of Darkness. That's pretty much the only major problem that the deck has. It has power, because Diablos can be quite strong. It has removal, because you contribute your opponent's stuff. But it just lacks. Only one card really searches Lair, and realistically you need three of it. It's nice that we get a card that's basically, I don't know, I mean, we've had cards in the past that search field spells with that Pandemonium Watchbearer and stuff like that. Was it Pandemonium Watchbearer? Something like that. And then Zephyros and that Atlantean one and such like. But it's nice to have one for Lair, because that means that the total amount of search cards you can have for it is 6, because you can have Terraforming as well. So it means that you should never not have a copy of... You should never not have Lair of Darkness in a game. You should always see one of it. If you, get the 3 copies of the deck and such like. And then... But I wouldn't say it's entirely perfect. It does lack extra deck, but most structure decks do, unless they're based around the extra deck. It does lack power in a sense. Its strongest thing is 3k, and there's not really many ways to bring up the bigger ones, unless you're lucky and get Sinister Yugioh, or lucky and get lots of tokens. Now the main thing to summon those big ones is to tribute those Torment tokens. But there are things that exist, for example, Bujin Chisusanaro and such like, that will just laugh at the fact that you have a bunch of tokens. Oh, that's nice. Sure, you're trying to fill up your field to tribute summon. I'll just attack all of them. And it also relies on saying the turn player. So, yeah. So if you're doing stuff on your opponent's turn, your opponent gets the tokens. So kind of a double-edged sword, but I guess in a sense, since works. During the end phase, you can run a little bit of what I call the Archfiend Nightmare Archfiend strat, which is summon them in attack position and have a monster that can attack all monsters once each. Since they're only 1,000 attack points each, if you have someone with 3,000 attack, and you successfully summon, say, 4 tokens, and they have nothing, and I know a bit of a reach, but if you have all that, which isn't too difficult, you have game in 1 turn. Okay, it's a bit of a reach, but it's a way too OTK in the deck. Inherently, almost. I say almost inherently, because you still need something like Susanoo. What? You could do that, you could, because Chaos decks are a thing. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video here. Sorry if I sound like I'm rambling a bit much, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video here. Don't forget to leave a like if you did. Don't forget to comment down below what you thought. Your thoughts on the Stucture deck. I would love to hear your thoughts. And I will see you some people, fans and fanettes and such, in the next video. Keep it real, folks.